hello, everyone.
What's up?
What's going on? Base camp is back in the house.
I am. I'm no longer sick. Yay.
Yep.
I was
it's kind of nice.
It was quite sad. I don't know. I'm just going to say this. I don't know if you noticed on the last one, Yeti Legs had some technical difficulties, and I'm just going to say it's because I was not there to help.
She is absolutely my good luck charm, and she does a lot of pre-testing before we actually get on to the episode. So
I mean, theater and film is my background, so I legit am like, okay, you always have to be an hour or two before, test it, make sure it's all good, and then let's go. But that time I was on my back.
I would stumble and fall if it was not for her.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's true.
No.
I know, right? Get some brownie points.
A little bit.
Well, this is our podcast, Yeti
Walks into Base Camp.
I am Yeti Legs.
And I'm Base Camp.
So hello. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, thank you for listening in. You have by this point, whenever this is released, you'll have about 32 episodes plus 2 bonus episodes to listen to, maybe more.
There could be more. We don't even know what's happening. We
just like to keep a little stock of episodes to release whenever we can. And this is going to be a really exciting episode because it's kind of a smaller local establishment here in Colorado that we just randomly stumbled upon in Leadville. And ever since then, we've kind of been hooked. And
I was going to tell the story.
Yeah. So we'll tell the story in just a second. But first, we should introduce our guest speakers.
Can I tell the story and then can we introduce them?
Sure. Why not? Go for it.
Okay. So think upon a summer day in June. And to give a backstory, I hate female sun shirts. I feel like sun shirts in the female world, they're itchy, they're too tight, they choke your neck. There's just so many issues with them. And Jolly Gear, I love Jolly Gear. I really do. And we use it on the PCT, but it's heavy and it doesn't dry very fast. And also the odor thing was a big deal for me. So I was looking. I couldn't find anything. I would go to REI. There was just bullshit for sun shirts for females. And I'm just like, So then one day we're in Leadville, Colorado, and we're just, traipsing around Leadville, Colorado. And Wesley turns and looks at this store and goes,
It was on the corner of one of the little side streets.
Yeah. And he was like, we've never been in there.
And I'm wearing, I had just purchased this Mountain Hardwear polyester sun shirt. And after 3 uses, I'm like, man, these pit smells are strong. This is happening.
And he was about to do the Colorado Trail. And that's the sun shirt he was going to use.
Yeah.
Well, we decide to go into this store and I see the sun shirt and it's this beautiful teal green color that I is in my wheelhouse of colors, which instantly attracted me. And then I felt the fabric and I was like, holy mother, this is amazing. And I was like, I got to try it on. And so I did. And it fit so wonderfully. For me on trail, I don't want something sexy. I don't care. I don't need a cute body shape for my sun shirt. I just want something comfortable, something that fits well, something that doesn't choke my neck and feels good and is cool feeling.
Yeah.
And then come to find out this sun shirt has his bamboo, which we'll get into.
It's made of bamboo.
Yes. And so it's like an less odor for you. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. It's perfect. And so I put one on and I try it and I'm like, I'm getting it done. And then Wesley's like, you know what? I'm going to try one on too. And he totally.
Yeah. And I definitely got one and I wore it the entire Colorado Trail and I've done it on all my hikes and training runs since the Colorado Trail in 23. And the first hole that I got in it is when I tried to take the cap off of a beer bottle with it. And it tore a small hole in it. So that was my fault.
It's very sad.
But yeah, so this was the Sawatch sun hoodie from Galena Mountain Project. And ever since then, we've been Galena fans.
Yeah, so Galena Mountain Project is their name. That is their store. And also for you through hikers that are doing the CDT, you totally should hop in there, check them out while you're on trail. Super cool store. And so now who we have with us on this podcast episode is...
We've got Justin and we've got David. They are the founders of Galena Mountain Project. And you've got kind of an interesting backstory on how the foundation happened. And that's going to be one of our first questions. So we want to talk about that. But just real quick, would you like to give a brief bio on who y'all are and what you do now?
Cool. Yeah, I'll start. Justin, and I've been in Leadville for 17 years. It's one of those things where when we moved to Leadville in 2006, it was kind of not much going on. We thought, oh, I don't know if we can stay here. Leadville has just really grown on us, and I've fallen in love, and I can't actually imagine leaving Leadville. And that whole time I've been working at the High Mountain Institute, which is a semester school for juniors in high school predominantly. We do a lot of expeditions with our students, and I lead the expedition program. And I've always been in outdoor education for my whole professional life, and spent a lot of time outside and being disappointed with outdoor gear, apparel, that kind of thing. So always kind of scheming on what the things are, how to improve things. It's one of those things that I'm sure that you've had where you're like, oh, we could make this so much better while you're just sitting around in camp. So after, 15 or 20 years of doing that, just started thinking about, hey, you know what? Maybe we should actually make some of these things we've talked about. So really love being in Leadville, and psyched to both have a life that is in the nonprofit school world and connecting people to the outdoors, connecting kids to the outdoors, and then also being in kind of like the for-profit, or as we like to joke, for no-profit small business world.
Well, this is Small Business Week, isn't it? I'm pretty sure
I
that's a
don't-
thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's how out of touch we are sometimes with our business world.
That's amazing.
we follow all these smaller like cottage companies on Instagram, and I must have seen 100 posts for Small Business Week giveaway, et cetera, et cetera. So this is kind of opportunistic that we're interviewing you during Small Business Week.
I've never heard of it
Yeah,
either.
it's totally a thing. Look it up.
That's funny. And David, or you also go by Dave.
Go by Dave. Yeah, thanks so much for having us. Yeah, and I think, similar backstory to Justin. I moved to Leadville in 2011 to work at the school, and I still work here. I run our kind of teacher training program, so we have some student teachers who come every semester, and I work with them, and it's awesome to be able to work with aspiring educators and still get to go out on trips with young people, which has been what I've been passionate about for the last 15 years, and spending time in wild places with young people. And yeah, I think like our story says, Justin and I spent a ton of time outside together, both for work and in our personal time. And, when you're walking or camping or whatever it is, it's fun to scheme and come up with those sort of like off the wall ideas. And yeah, eventually kind of before COVID and then in COVID had that moment of like, well, we should give it a shot. And yeah, that's kind of how it actualized.
Awesome.
It was born. A star was born.
It was born in the spring of 23. The
Wait,
birds were
23?
chirping, right? The spring of 23.
We started, I think officially in 2019.
Okay.
But then we didn't. I can't remember when we had a different storefront that was like hidden off of one of the main streets, and we thought, oh, everybody will see us here, and
yeah,
we had some fairly devoted locals and friends, but maybe about 15 of them noticed where we were.
Oh, yeah. Did you move into your storefront on Main Street then in 23?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I pulled 23 from your website, so that must be what that is. The new shop. Okay,
nice.
Gotcha.
Nice. Yeah, the new shop.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to do odds or you would do evens?
I'll do evens. You do odds. I feel like because you've got some good. Yeah.
I got some good in the first question.
Mm-hmm. And I have random pop-up questions that I wish I was writing down right now, but hopefully I'll remember them.
If you want to ask them at any point, just ask them.
Okay, quickly, I do want to ask: was the sun shirt your like first initial idea? Because you do have other products, but
yeah, we do. And kind of our first idea, which was like, we came up with probably in like 2012 or something, is a pearl snap, a hooded pearl snap sun shirt for like ski touring. And all of our pearl snap shirts are this like quarter to half pearl snap, which is fairly unique. But that was our first thing, and then we have been iterating on that pearl snap design since probably 2015. Having friends sew them and stuff, and then it probably took us a year to come up with the bamboo sun shirt, which just came out the beginning of last year. So you folks were some of the first to get the originals. So it was one of those things where it wasn't like our original thing, but now that we have it, we're really psyched about it and are just gonna keep making like slight tweaks to it and that kind of thing.
Totally. I didn't even realize that we were some of the first to try it, because that is a sun shirt I've been looking for, like, because nothing's on the market like that. And I remember we came back into Galena like a month later. We were going to do a hike around Leadville, and this woman was trying on one of those sun shirts, and she's like, I don't know, should I get it? I was like, you should totally get it. I bought it like a month or so ago, and I have never regretted it. And she did. She's like, okay. But yeah.
Thank you.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Of course. Like we love interviewing brands that genuinely we're passionate about, that we've actually tested on the trail, that we believe in. And so that's why we wanted you guys on the podcast, because we believe in your product. So
yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And that kind of leads me to the first question.
Boom.
So I read your story from your website, and it kind of hit home with me. But a brief synopsis is that you state that the idea for Galena was conceived on dark mornings and musings in tents, and that one or both of you started out making guidebooks, which is so cool because I'm a map fanatic. Your business namesake, so Mount Galena, which is also in Leadville, Colorado, is kind of dwarfed by the other mountains there, namely the highest peak in the state of Colorado, Mount Elbert, and also Mount Massive, which are two 14ers really close to Galena, which is only around 12,890 or so feet tall. So it's like 12 to 1,300 feet shorter than the nearby mountains. Yet you still chose it versus those larger mountains, and even Sherman in the background. And I think one of the things you mentioned is that Mount Galena can even be climbed by grade schoolers. And now that you're talking about your passions in outdoor education, that kind of that puts two pieces together. Mm-hmm. So what I'm wondering is if you would just mind speaking about the business's inception all the way to its actualization. I have actualization in 23, but now I realize that is just when the second shop was opened. So would you just mind talking about like the whole shebang? Like, whose idea was it to go from guidebooks to a clothing store that also sells guidebooks, by the way, which are awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give the first crack at it, I guess. Shortly after moving to Leadville, there wasn't really a guidebook to Leadville area rock climbing, partially because there isn't amazing rock climbing in Leadville. But shortly after I started climbing around here, started going to different cliffs that people hadn't really climbed on that much and taking notes. And it's one of those things that, you take notes about cliffs that you go to or trails that you go on that are like kind of your personal notes. And people would always ask me, oh, have you ever been to this place or that place? And I would share my like little PDF notes on this cliff or that cliff. And, it's pretty fun. And I think after a few years, I realized, oh my gosh, like actually it might be worth it to put some of these into a guidebook. And it was right around probably 2010, somewhere in there. Dave came to Leadville and we were climbing a lot and kind of always exploring and checking out these scruffy cliffs, some of them great, some of them very mediocre to poor. But we just really enjoyed just being out there and worked on the guidebook for probably about 5 years, made the guidebook. And I think that was kind of the, after coming up with the guidebook and, we're like, oh, there's only like 10 people that are going to be interested in this, like no one's a climber around Leadville. And to our surprise, like people were really excited to like come climbing here. And there really is that culture in climbing, and I think in hiking and in running, of like having this, like, I'm going to get the guidebook because that's going to like make me psyched to go visit the place. And like, when I look at my bookshelf, it's full of guidebooks. Most of the guidebooks I've actually visited the place, but there are some that I'm like, I just really want to go there someday. And this is like what gets me really psyched about going there. And so that kind of started this idea of, it's really fun to inspire people to go visit places that are wild and maybe unexpected and maybe not the like most glamorous. And I think that's what's cool about Leadville. It doesn't have like the craziest mountains and it doesn't have the craziest cliffs or whatever, but it's just a cool, fun place to check out. Coming up with that first guidebook was, as working on any creative endeavor, there are so many moments where you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much work. It is not worth it. But you get it through it and you're like, oh, that was cool. I'm so glad that I'm like able to share this with other people and able to share the Leadville backyard with other people. And so a few years after that guidebook, we put together a running guidebook. And again, it's like always all of the things that we're doing are kind of a team effort of, going out, exploring places. I found one of the coolest things about making the guidebooks is going out with Dave and other friends and just like exploring things that you're like, oh, I've always wanted to check this out. I wonder if it's cool. I wonder if we should put it in a guidebook, and taking pictures. But then also just all the people that you meet along the way that you're like, oh, this person has done some really cool things in the mountains. We should go out and talk to them and like get their story, get their take on it. And that's, I have so many connections that I've made from making these guidebooks. And I think it was somewhere around the time of the running guidebook, being out on like a winter expedition and just being so hot. It's crazy. Like Colorado in the springtime is just scorchingly hot when you're on snow and it's still and the sun's out. And so just like dying, trying to like think of all the different variations of sun shirts you could possibly make, with fans in them. And, you come up with some just totally off the wall, bizarre ideas. It was on a combination of, I think on one of those winter expeditions, like 10-day long expeditions, that the idea of Galena and the name for Galena came up as we were thinking of like, it'd be cool to have a brand, but we don't want it to be like this flashy thing, this like named after the biggest, craziest mountain, like,
yeah.
How about a brand that's about a cool place that's right in the backyard, and that's about appreciating those little things, those cool places that you can easily get to in the mountains, especially like in the mountains in central Colorado, as like you can go 10 minutes from your car and just get to the coolest spot. So that's where the name for Galena came. And there's some cool cool things about Galena and the name Galena. It's obviously a mountain that's right in our backyard, but it's also the name of a mountain that's in many people in the Mountain West. There's, I think, at least one or two other Mount Galenas or Galena Mountains in Colorado, and they're kind of spread throughout the Rockies. Because Galena is an ore, it's lead sulfide, and it's where you get silver from it. So it's got kind of that cool. There's like multiple dimensions to the name of like it's a cool mountain, but it's also has that kind of like mining history to it, which is kind of fun.
I did not know that.
I
That's
didn't know
really
that
cool.
either. I'm not a geologist, so I had no idea.
Dude.
Or even a rock.
Yeah, I didn't figure that out myself. I think someone else probably.
You know, it's funny you said that too, because we're not climbers, but I remember we were engaged in Washington, like the state of Washington, and we went to this little like town, really an establishment. It's called Melanzana, which is really close to the Canadian border, and there's this little like. It's like a cafe / like beer garden area with a bunch of picnic tables outside. And I remember seeing groups of people sitting at tables. You could obviously tell they were climbers because they had the climbing gear. They would have out like their little notebooks, and it was all handwritten information. And I'm like, what are they doing? And so to hear that from you, that like I don't know anything about that world, so that makes so much sense to me now. That these are probably like hidden gems that they have found and they're sharing with their friends who also climb. So
that's so cool to think about.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you guys artists? Like, do you draw for the guidebooks?
I'm a photographer. So I do all the photos that are in all the guidebooks. Which is super fun. And then we work with a bunch of different local artists. Brinkley Messick is probably the artist that we've worked with the most, who's based down in Salida.
Okay.
And yeah, he's got kind of a cool story himself. Yeah. He designed and has built a lot of the mountain biking trails that are in Buena Vista and Salida. And is also just like such a talented artist. I think the sweatshirt that you're wearing.
I was gonna say I'm wearing one of your sweatshirts. Yeah, it's so comfortable. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm wearing a North Face pullover right now, but at least I have a Galena hat on.
He does that Galena hat.
David, did you want to add anything else to that founding story, or?
I think Justin did a great job.
He nailed it.
Yeah, capturing that. Yeah.
Thank
you.
Before we get into our next question, I think it's high time to discuss what we are drinking.
I was gonna say, I was like, we didn't do the drink of the choice.
I know. I got so excited to like dig into the question set. I missed it.
It's okay. So here's our drink of the choice. Would you guys like to go first?
I can lead us out. I'll preface it by saying we're still at the day job right now. We're at work at a school, so we're both drinking some sort of kombucha. I think I have a little Mystic Mango kombucha.
Oh, yummy!
Yeah. How many probiotics you got in that bad boy?
We have 9 billion living probiotics.
9 billion probiotics. Your gut is so happy for you.
How did they get them all in there?
I don't know.
Ridiculous. I've got a similar but different. Unfortunately, I gave Dave the choice, and he chose the one that's like closest to like a pleasant smoothie, and left me with the one that's like just eating ginger off of your sushi plate.
There you go.
I've only made it. I've had about 100 sips, and I've only made it about an inch into my kombucha.
It's called the Health Aid kombucha.
Yeah.
At least you don't have to worry about a stomach ache for at least the
Yeah.
next half day.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Over here, we're also drinking fermented beverages, but ours are a little bit higher in alcohol.
Yeah.
Yours are probably like 0.002 or something like that. So this is an oatmeal milk stout. I had to like slowly pronounce that, from Fink and Garf. And I first had this at a little pub here in Breckenridge, and ever since then I've been hooked on it.
Wait, where is that located? Finkengarf.
Ooh, I don't
Do you know? Is it a Colorado beer?
It's definitely Colorado, but I don't know
Okay.
where, and I don't want to like do misjustice to the brewery.
Be like, it's in Denver, and when it's like in Durango or something.
Yeah.
I am drinking a beer that Wesley poured for me, and I don't know what it is. What is it?
So I work at or I did work largely at a brewery called Guanella Pass Brewery in Georgetown, Colorado. And now I just pick up shifts that need filled. But one of the new beer tenders there, you just made a face. You don't like it?
It's okay. It's okay. It's too hoppy for my palate.
Yeah.
But anyway, keep saying what it is because I don't even know.
But so one of the new beer tenders at the brewery, he is from Indiana. He's also 36, like we are, and he is a beer connoisseur as well. But this is one of his favorite breweries. It's something Floyd's, but this is an American wheat pale ale, which is a very long description.
Is it in Indiana, the brewery?
Yes, it is.
Sorry, Indiana.
Yeah, he bought a case of 2 different beers from that brewery because it's his favorite, and he just wanted to share something that he loves with everyone at the brewery.
So sweet. It's not my favorite. I prefer a lager, like a good Mexican lager, or something. But it's drinkable.
It sounds like David and I got the long end of the stick here, and y'all got the short end. You and Justin, you're not loving your drinks.
I should have just pulled my red wine. It's always my go-to, but I wasn't feeling like I wanted to stain my teeth yet.
The Kirkland box. It's like 3 bottles of wine in it.
I think it's 4.
It's something like that. It's a large number.
$14.99 for 4 bottles of wine.
Costco.
Anyway, okay. Well, moving on. Have either of you ever done a long trail? And the definition of a long trail is?
For us, it's going to be anything that is 100 miles in length or longer.
I don't actually think either of us have ever done a long trail by that definition. I would say that we've both spent a lot of time walking very short distances with students. So spending 30 days at a time out backpacking with young folks. But yeah, generally not in any sort of like designated trail system, usually walking in like strange contrived circles in the winds or in the Sawatch range or wherever it might be. But yeah, I guess I've gotten to do some bike packing, which is I think comparable in some ways to that sort of like long trail endeavor. But yeah, I don't think either of us have done that. Have you, JT?
No, I've done sections. We're both from the East Coast, and have done very small sections of the AT, just for like a week here or a week there, that kind of thing. But we always joke about how instead of going long distances with light packs, we go short distances with very heavy packs.
That counts too, though.
Yeah, but let's also be real here. Like 100 miles, that takes a week to a week and a half of being off of work, being off of normal life. That's a lot of time. So in this season, we're just section hiking we really wanted to do the Rainbow Trail off of the Song de Cristo.
Oh, awesome. Heck yes.
Yeah, so we're just doing it in sections.
Yeah, we started at the beginning, off of Highway 285, and we hiked into the beginning because that dirt road is like a shit show. So we hiked to the beginning, touched it, turned around to start the trail.
Yeah. And there is at least one monster bear out there, like Sasquatch size.
Geez.
It was huge.
Yeah, the footprints were the size of our husky's head, if that tells you anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was
intense.
Nuts.
Wow. We do like try to, since we spend a lot of time backpacking and camping and that kind of thing, I feel like most of our free time is like the one day try to do as much as you possibly can, whether that's like on your feet and try to, do some really long section of a ridge, or on skis trying to, ski through the mountains for as many hours as you can take it before you're hopelessly sunburned. And and wallowing in slush. So we definitely
Yeah,
enjoy the lightweight thing, but we get it for about 15 hours at a pop.
So you do like these body blowouts whenever you go outside, it sounds like.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, we also enjoy like the casual short hike too, but definitely try to get out on a handful of these like adventures every year of going out through the mountains and just trying to do kind of the 60-40 rule of you have a 60% chance of failing at whatever you're trying to do for the day, and only a 40% chance of actually doing the thing you set out to do, which is super fun because most of the time you don't actually end up doing the thing you're trying to do, but you inevitably like stumble down some drainage that you'd never in a million years go down to get out of the mountains or that kind of thing, which is always really fun. And occasionally you actually set out to do what you wanted to, and that it feels that much sweeter when you didn't think you could do it in the first place.
That's so good.
That's sage advice right there.
I love that.
60-40. Live by that, folks.
I know. So to tag on to that with the long trails, I mean, it sounds like you guys are rock climbers, bikers, skiers. What is your favorite outdoor activity? Which one do you love the most?
Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, we are generalists for sure and love to dabble in a lot of things, sometimes with like an obsessive streak, but embracing whatever the season is. And I think right now, as we're in spring and wrapping up ski season, that is like still sort of the obsession, and the conditions are stable and it's a chance to get out really deep into the Sawatch range and explore. So I think that's probably what we're most excited about, or what I'm most excited about right now. But that will quickly transition to be biking or climbing or hiking or running or whatever it might be.
Yeah, except Dave just broke his arm. Dave broke his arm like last week, so this is a theoretical. I guess I get to do these.
You
things.
get to do that. Yeah. This is theoretical for me. I'm
so
theoretically
sorry.
excited about skiing.
Wait.
Oh.
What did you break in your arm?
I broke the radial head in my elbow going over the handlebars on my bike. Yeah, like 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe at this point. But such is life.
Man.
Yeah, if you're not flying, you're not trying.
I know.
Were you on snow or gravel or road?
I was on dirt down in BV, riding Vitamin B, that like fun trail that's kind of off the river road.
Okay.
Yeah. So it happens.
Yeah.
It does happen. I totally had shoulder surgery last year, like in September, but I popped it out in July. I was running down a 14er and did a massive trip fall and hit a rock really hard. So I dislocated it and tore my labrum, and so I couldn't really do anything epic last year. So I feel that pain with you. I'm so sorry. But I know it's like, you just kind of move through it, get through it, and you keep going. And I think for this year, when my sling finally came off in January, the first day of January, we climbed Quandary because I was like, I will not let this stop me from doing what I love. Like I need to redeem what I love and do it again. And so, yeah, I feel that.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm in the process of like learning from the injury, right? And I think a lot of folks in the outdoors have this really narrow range of coping mechanisms, things that make them happy, whatever it is. And so I'm trying to embrace this as an opportunity to learn and go for dog walks and look at birds and explore dirt roads that I've never driven out to, and read a bunch of good books that have been on the bedside table. So I think we learn from all these experiences.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah.
You'll be an ornithologist by the time you move out. I mean, come on. Somebody get this man more kombucha. He needs more billions of probiotics.
Seriously.
It'll heal my bone.
Yeah. There you go.
If only. I'm sorry to hear about that, but I'm glad that you're seeing it with a positive light, and there is definitely always another side to the coin.
Yeah. I think, all of us who do massive outdoor activity, and I think a lot of people who listen to our podcast, they do a ton of outdoor activities, or they're really wanting to do a long through hike, or they're really wanting to do something that's extracurricular that they've been, dreaming of. And I want to ask you guys, do you have any, and sorry, I'm going off trail, but do you have any advice now, Dave, that you're saying this, like because I think a lot of people who don't do this, it's the fear of getting hurt. It's fear of hypothermia. It's fear of, what if I don't have enough money? Do you have any advice for people?
And also to that, your business owners, that takes a big, huge leap, and you have to take out probably a substantial loan to seed that whole institution. So yeah, I mean, not even just going outside, but just overcoming fears and like doing what you want to do and what your dreams are.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that we all learn from being in the outdoors is to like lean into the discomfort and realize that like the most worthwhile things that you set out to do in your life, whether that's like a business, relationships, outdoor challenges, the most rewarding ones are the ones that have some risk to them and are going to be uncomfortable and are going to be uncertain. And it sounds a bit cheesy, but it's totally true, and the more times that you kind of like do those challenging things and just take it one step at a time, and like meet each of those like little obstacles in whatever you're trying to do, just meet them as they come and kind of be your best self. That's a good way to approach one day in the mountains or a big endeavor like starting a business, is just break it down into many challenges and don't get overwhelmed with like, oh my gosh, this seems impossible. Oh my gosh, I'm afraid that I'm gonna hurt myself, or I'm going to like lose a ton of money or whatever. It's also the reason why we still do have, aside from really enjoying the work that we do at our school, it is also a little bit of a safety net in terms of try to give yourself some safety net so that if your business doesn't go well, you have something to fall back on. Or same with going into the outdoors, it's like you have those contingency plans of, hey, if this doesn't work out, like this is where I can like get out of the mountains, or this is who I can call, and realize that like failure's part of it, and those are going to be the times you learn so much. So be set up to fail and not have it like destroy your life.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
We were interviewing the Leave No Trace traveling Subaru team. I didn't know that was a thing until we first were connected to them. But anyways, they were talking about the 7 different principles of Leave No Trace, and the first one is to be prepared, know before you go, and again, like you were just talking about, make sure you have a contingency just in case. So, I mean, even Leave No Trace, like that's the first principle. So you're speaking truth over here.
I personally think that in Colorado, because the mountains, you should fear the mountains, and not in a bad way, but like a respectful way. And you learn that as you explore. You learn, okay, do I need my snowshoes out here? Do I need my spikes? Do I need my crampons? Do I need my ice axe? Do I need specific gear, my 4-season tent? Do I need my 3-season tent? And you look at the conditions, you understand the levels in which you pack to be ready, to be prepared. And I just think that Colorado has taught us to respect the mountains, and that they have a language, and the weather can turn in a second here, and just completely go nuts. We went through a 4-day snowstorm last week, and it's May. And I mean, that's just what we endure in Colorado, is understanding that the weather, and the elements can just all of a sudden turn. And so you do have to have a contingency plan. You do have to learn, where are my exit points, or where does this, or like, hey, I'm climbing this 14er and a lightning storm is literally about to fall on top of us. We're not going to hit the top, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. We have to turn around. We'll do it another day, because safety is first. So,
although that does suck, like being a quarter mile from the top of a 14er and having to turn around.
when we were doing
That's no
Belford,
fun.
Belford and Oxford, and we got to Belford. We saw the storm, but we were like, we can make it if we run. So we were running with our packs. We get not even 50 feet from the
No, it was a
top.
couple 100 feet.
Okay, fine, whatever. A couple 100 feet. And I turn around and I see lightning striking, and it's almost over Belford. And I was like, babe, I don't think, like, we're exposed out here. We've got to turn around right now. And it almost hit us. It's a very scary moment.
Yeah. And as you can imagine, there's a huge saddle in between the peaks of 214ers. So that kind of sucks to go down and have to climb back up and out of whenever there's legitimately lightning strikes happening in front of you.
I was having a panic attack a little bit.
Yeah.
I
I'm
was
sure
like, we're not going to make it.
I'm sure y'all have been in similar scenarios as much as you go into the backcountry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of going into the backcountry and into the elements, I think that I don't know where this saying originated, but there is no bad weather. There is only bad equipment and bad clothing. And I kind of want to talk about what clothing Galena has to offer. But not just clothing, you offer other stuff as well. And just a few things I noted down. I've noted down guidebooks, apparel, local art, but I'm sure that is not comprehensive. So if you wouldn't mind just telling the listeners what they can expect whenever they check out your website.
Yeah. So, guidebooks. Now we have 4 different guidebooks. We've got a climbing, a hiking that's more like Leadville area 14ers, and also like just the super fun like alpine lake hike type things. We've got a mountain biking guidebook, which is kind of covers a lot of this stuff in the Arkansas Valley all the way down to Salida, so Leadville, BV, and Salida. And then I think maybe one of my favorite books is it's called the Leadville Runner. And it's a book that's like a kind of a favorite runs type book that very few of the runs, I'll put those in air quotes, are actually on trails for more than about half of them. So it's like you're on a trail and then you're going through the boulders and then you're up on this ridge. And I think that one is, it's like these mountain ramble-y type runs that are really fun and mostly hikes, but I think they're aspirational runs, I guess, for many of us. And I think that one kind of like embodies the spirit of a lot of our products, which is this like more laid back approach to being in the backcountry a little bit. I'm not going to be wearing the most like techie, all polyester type stuff. It's more like a little bit casual of like, go out there, enjoy, have an adventure in the mountains. Don't take yourself too seriously. That's kind of like our approach, I think. And so a lot of the other things that we have, kind of our biggest category is probably our Pearl Snap shirts, which we have like short sleeve ones, that are a mix of like, some of them are hemp with some stretch in them. Some of them are cotton with some spandex in them. One of our friends, actually, when we first came out with our short sleeve cotton Pearl Snap shirt, he won the Leadville Marathon wearing one of these, and then he ran the Leadville 100 wearing one of our cotton Pearl Snap shirts the entire time. He never took it off the entire race.
Wow.
So it's a kind of like this idea of like, sometimes we joke it's like the fast casual kind of vibe. So we've got a bunch of different Pearl Snap shirts. Some of them are more for like around town. We've got a stretch corduroy shirt, and then we now have like a few different styles of kind of the more classic sun hoodie, the one that you guys mentioned at the beginning, the Pearl Snap one, or the not Pearl Snap, sorry, bamboo. I got Pearl Snaps on the brain. The bamboo sun hoodie that we have is just super light and has been so popular. but we also have kind of like a more casual, like cotton blend sun hoodie that's like perfect for gardening or just hanging out in the summertime.
Is this the one? Is this the one that's
Is that the one I have?
Purple, gray, that kind of like two
With
tone?
the snaps and the.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No, this one's a little bit different, and the one you're talking about is we call it the party ski sun hoodie.
Oh,
and
no,
those are.
I'm sorry, not that one. Basecamp has one, and it has a collar on it.
Yeah, that must be the party ski one. It's got
the party ski is the one that I have with like it looks like a topo map almost, but it's purple and it has a moon on it.
I think the one the other one, it's got like it's got snaps on it. Only from like I wore it for one of my work things.
Yeah, that's like our if it's the one with it, does it have a hood?
Yeah.
Or is it just totally. That's like our signature. Totally, like huge chest pocket for your phone. That's like our original design. We call it the low tide. Dave came up with the low tide name.
It's a beautiful shirt.
Yeah, and we have a new one of those coming out that's stretch linen, and so it's really thin stretch linen, and I think it's gonna be good. I hope.
I'm excited about that. We already have
samples, so we know it's going to be reasonably good.
Yeah.
Yay! I can't wait I'm like, ooh, this might be another one to put in my wardrobe. But I tried that one actually, or I was wearing it for a work thing, because it was like what I like about that sun shirt, which it doesn't even feel like a sun shirt to me, but it's classy and you can dress it up, which I thought was really cool. And so I wore it to one of my film shoots with, I had to mingle with the clients and stuff, but it looked very classy, but it was comfortable. And we were also filming outside, so I could put the hoodie up if I wanted to, for protection. I loved it. I was like, okay, I'm digging this one.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. What else do we have, Dave? We got other stuff? Yeah, we're always coming up with random things. I mean, that's part of our goal is like, if we have something that we feel like we can't hold ourselves back, like we need to make this, even if we only make 20 or 30 of them as like a tester, just to see if we like it. We'll just go for it. And many things will make just one small run and then decide like, oh, this is really fun to have, but is not going to be something that is like a part of our, bigger line or that kind of thing. Totally. We make a really cool stretch denim long sleeve pearl snap collared shirt that's like really good. It's super stretchy and you can wear it mountain biking or carrying firewood or anything. But the version we made before that of that shirt was made of like this motorcycle Dyneema denim, and just the fabric cost about $75 per shirt just for the fabric. And so that was one where we made about 20 of those, and like people were like, we can't even sew this stuff. It's like, it's crazy. It's kind of like wearing a cardboard shirt, but if you fell off your motorcycle, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be
What? That is so wild that you can make this stuff. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to experiment.
You also offer hat wear too, because I'm wearing one of your hats right now, but you've got beanies too, yeah?
Yeah, we got all sorts of different hats, and we keep experimenting with those. And again, like Justin said, trying a bunch of different things and following those like wild hair ideas.
Yeah,
I love that.
And guys, you've got this one. It's like a wool blend pullover, and it's got those pearl snaps on it as well. But I wore that to one of our date nights.
He looked good.
Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Good in the backcountry and on the streets, baby.
Yeah, that's a nice like downtown Breckenridge. You're probably outclassing most of the folks walking around.
Everybody else had on
Totally.
North Face, and I was wearing
Yeah.
this local Galena, like nice wool. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked
happened.
it looked good.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great example. We just made one round of those this last winter. We made 30 of them total, and it's that one has. It's fun because using this small factory in Denver, we can make 30, and then if people are into them, then great. We'll make more of them, and if it's not as popular, then we'll move on and try other stuff.
That's actually a great segue into another question I saw on here. But so I'm gonna switch these two, babe, and I'm gonna ask the next one.
Okay.
Something that we love is that you do locally source your products to be made in Denver. I think that's so cool and amazing, because not to knock on big gear brands, because we also do love our big gear brands too. But so much of them are made in China or Mexico. And I just love that you do locally source everything and you support local, and we want to support local. I am curious, have you found that makes communication easier for design nuances or problems to solve? Like, what's that process like because it's local?
And I mean, you list the two sweet women who manufacture your clothes. Like, you list them on your
I love
website by
that.
name. You can't do that with a lot of other companies. So.
Yeah.
No, we feel pretty lucky. We were not in the apparel business, so we kind of like did the classic like Google search trying to find somebody to make things, and kind of talked them into making our first round of shirts. Our very first round of shirts were just made by friends. Our friend Emma sewed probably 50 of our original shirts. And then we stumbled across Sunny and Jody and their crew. They probably have about 10 sewers, maybe 20 sewers in Denver, and started working with them. It's really funny. I think they had a bad experience with putting pearl snaps on shirts. So like
Really?
the very first conversation I remember having, they're like, "Oh yeah, we can make these shirts, but we're not messing with pearl snaps."
Oh no.
Which was pretty. I was like, I can't find anybody else on the internet. This is not the kind of thing that's like super easy to find in the U.S. So I was like, oh yeah, no problem. Like, we can do the pearl snaps. Like, having like not a really great sense of how to do it in a way that's very efficient. But yeah, so they started making our pearl snap shirts, and now we do a combination. I think we work with that factory. We work with a factory in California, and for some of our stuff, we have started to make it overseas, mostly from a scale standpoint. It's really hard to get the factory in Denver to be able to do too many shirts. So I think we're going to kind of, our strategy is to make stuff locally as much as we can, and then we'll kind of mix in using other factories and other places for some stuff. But I think especially for the smaller runs and experimenting, and until they're kind of like, oh, this is, we can't actually handle doing much more than this. We use them as much as we can because we love working with them. And they'll also make all sorts of stuff. We've had them make like super heavy duty tote bags. We're about to have them make some stretch belts, like webbing belts, which will be cool.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, we kind of have a few different options these days.
Which, not to knock at all, like people who go overseas for their stuff, because we did interview another company that was like, it is so difficult to get stuff made in the U.S. Like it is really like just such a difficult process, and we haven't set ourselves up here in America well to be able to do that anymore. And so, yeah, not to knock at all if you go overseas with products. Yeah,
totally, and yeah, I mean, I think we love supporting the folks in Denver and give them, as much business as we can. I have been really impressed with when we work with folks overseas, just like seeing like the quality of their craftsmanship and their attention to detail, and just like their factories are really, really so much more high tech than the factory that we use in Denver. A good example would be like the way that they can print and use fabric super efficiently by printing the pattern directly on the pattern pieces, which is kind of an interesting, instead of like having the whole roll that's one pattern and then cutting the pieces out of that and building the garment. If you can print the pattern onto the sheets of fabric in the exact shape of the different pattern pieces, you can be really, really efficient and like super, super accurate with how your pattern comes out on your shirts. So it's been really interesting working with these more like really highly sophisticated folks that they do a really good job.
Yeah, we don't know anything about the retail and the manufacturing side, so it's so cool to hear different folks' perspectives on this stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of Galena products, we do have a little bit of a gift to share with everyone listening to at least this point in the podcast. This should be about halfway. We have a 20% off code to offer you.
Whoa.
So any of that stuff that we were just talking about, and even some of the products that weren't even mentioned in this podcast, just go check out the website. The link to the Galena Mountain Project website will be in the show notes. Use this code to get 20% off your entire purchase. And the code is super simple. It is WB20. My name is Wesley Black, so hence the WB. So just use WB20 whenever you're checking out through Galena Mountain Project, and that will get you 20% off of your entire purchase. And everything is already reasonably priced, so the extra 20% is kind of like icing on the cake for some really superb outdoor gear. So do yourself a favor, go check it out, and at least get the Sawatch hoodie. That's the bamboo one that we keep talking about and raving about. We love that sucker, and we think you will as well. So enjoy.
Wow, you're really good at doing that.
I know it's scary, isn't it? Maybe I took the wrong career path.
I know. I'm like, you should be like a voice person. I'm not good at it. I just start stumbling over my words, and I'm like going,
I'm
yeah.
really trying to focus here, though. 3 beers in, I would not be able to.
That was great. You nailed it.
I mean, you're not reading from anything when you say it. Like, it's impressive.
I'm just trying to not look at my video feed so I don't get distracted.
Oh,
that's
okay.
all.
Okay. So you're like staring off into the distance.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. So let's get back into the questions.
Your turn.
Here. All right. So you guys keep mentioning this thing called a pearl snap. So a pearl snap is a snap button with like a pearl covering on it. And it's pretty aesthetic, but there's got to be some type of reasoning behind that. Do you want to explain that? And I think it has some type of connection to Leadville, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think loosely connected to Leadville, but yeah, the origin story of the pearl snap, it dates way back, like World War I era, and anything that now uses Velcro previously used a pearl snap. It's kind of that like easy thing to do. You can do it one-handed, you could do it with gloves on. And out of that like World War I usage, it got adopted by a bunch of the sort of like Western wear and workwear brands. And that was, again, for the same sort of reason. If it gets snagged on something, it's not going to tear your shirt. The pearl snap's going to like break away, and then you're going to be able to like snap it back, even if you just have one hand or if you're wearing gloves. So it definitely has a place in that sort of like Western culture and lore, whether that's the mining world or more of that like cowboy culture. And yeah, so I think, again, like Justin talked about, a lot of our clothing, a lot of our guidebooks or art, it's all trying to be a reflection of place. And so in the same way that, we try to channel elements of Leadville, we think that the pearl snap is just like, both like aesthetically pleasing, but also like an homage to the history of the place.
Definitely it is. I think so.
I love that.
This is a great segue to the next question.
So for those of you listening, you absolutely need to go online and you need to look at their actual branding logo, because it is beautiful. It's probably one of the prettiest, I think, logos I've ever seen. And it's on the sun shirts, it's on your gear. So I'd really love, like, where did the design inspiration come from?
Like, not even just for the logos, but for your clothing in general.
I'll start with like the picture that's on your sweatshirt, and it's the one that we use on our sign. And it's super cool. I mentioned Brinkley Messick earlier. Just a friend and an amazing artist. He's now done for us at least 3 different renditions of Galena Mountain. And I think the one that's on your sweatshirt, the one that's on a lot of our clothes now is definitely one of our favorites. And it's cool. It uses his like stylized, folks will have to check it out, like stylized waves in the foreground. And just like a really nice, almost woodcut looking, print. And I think he's now done at least 3 of our mountain designs that are Galena Mountain. And so our sun shirts and our sweatshirts, especially our sweatshirts, we really try to, we've used Brink, but then also Marley Seifert, who lives in town, and a couple of other locals have done different renditions of the same, Galena Mountain. And so that's kind of fun to have this, like, different local artists have, every year we'll come out with a new version of our sweatshirts with a new piece of art from a different artist, but it's always Galena Mountain, which is pretty cool. And, it is funny. It's like, it's not even actually 13,000 feet tall, which for Leadville is, we're already at almost 11,000 feet. So it's like, it doesn't really stick up into the sky that high. But like when you're driving up from like Buena Vista from the south and you're like driving right down the highway, it is probably one of the coolest looking little peaks that's on the horizon north of Mount Massive. It is pretty cool. And the latest designs that Brink has made for us, he's made some designs that we've turned into patterns. Folks have to check out his website. He's got all sorts of stuff on his website, and a huge Instagram following, and sells a lot of his art via Instagram. But we have 3 new patterns for our new stretch linen shirts. One of which is like this swarm of butterflies, which is pretty cool, where the butterflies are just like really little, like a centimeter wide, and the whole it's like a salmon colored shirt that's covered in this like huge swarm of butterflies.
Whoa.
Which is super cool. And then he did another one that's that has wolves on it. These little mini wolves with these like leaves flying through the air.
Oh wow!
You gotta check it out. And then maybe
pretty impressive.
Yeah, maybe one of our most out there designs yet. One of our new shirts is going to be he does a really cool design of a moon, and so it's a shirt that is kind of mustard color, and it's got these 1 inch in diameter moons that are in a polka dot pattern. So so when you look at it from 15 feet away, you'll be like, oh, that person has like this polka dotted shirt on. But when you get close, you'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's like all these moons.
That's
so
cool.
It's really fun to just make wild designs and work with artists to make the patterns, and that kind of thing. And so a lot of the inspiration does come from our artists, and also like designs that we use for our shirts are, most of them are honestly from friends or from like the folks at the factory. They're like, oh, I just got this cool fabric book in, and wouldn't it be awesome to try to make shirts out of this, you mentioned like the wool blend shirt, and we were like, yeah, that seems super cool. We should definitely do that. So it's just a fun, like collaborative process of just our ideas, but more so like feedback from other folks about what they think would be cool.
Okay. And one other question on the clothing design, the chest pockets. A lot of clothing manufacturers make zippered pockets, but you have button pockets on some of yours. What's the reason behind that choice?
Honestly, like the simple answer is when we started, it's just like a little bit easier to not have to sew in a zipper.
I love that.
Kind of like the we like to joke in general about the pearl snaps. People are like, "Oh, why don't you have zippers or whatever?" And we're like, that'd be too easy. That'd be way too easy. Why? I mean, you can't make everything in your life so easy.
That's a good way to spin it.
Yeah, it's mostly about the aesthetic, and it is a simpler construction,
Yeah.
And sometimes simple is better. And it's funny, we're always like, oh, we can't use zippers or whatever. And as you know, the bamboo sun hoodies do have a zipper pocket. We're like, yeah, zippers are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's good technology.
Yeah, it's great technology.
I would use the word artisanal for the pearl snap buttons. Okay.
Artisanal.
I swear that word sells for some reason.
It is, and you can change the color of the pearl snap, and there's opportunities again to kind of have it be a cool play on the other pattern on the shirt or the other colors that you're working with.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I know we're talking about shirts.
Yeah, your turn.
Yeah. So if anyone listening doesn't know this, there is this clothing brand called Melanzana. And Melanzana has blown up not only across the state of Colorado, but people will make special trips just to Leadville, Colorado to get these Melanzana shirts. Like, it's big in the hiking community. And we don't own one. So, folks, I'm wondering, do you see Melanzana as a competitor or more of like just a small local business that also deserves your support as much as you deserve theirs?
Oh, no, yeah. We support Melanzana. We're so excited for their success and everything they've done for Leadville, and they're opening up another sewing center, I think, in Alamosa. I think Fritz's focus on providing jobs for the local workforce and his like determined, dogged vision to keep it all local is awesome. And I do think he's done a ton for Leadville. I think those folks that do come up just for their appointment at Melanzana, yeah, they'll do the walk up and down Harrison Ave and they check out other shops, and maybe they'll also fall in love with Leadville and come back. And so yeah, we are super excited for the success of Melanzana, and I don't know. What else, JT? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, and in many ways they're kind of like a bit of an inspiration for us in terms of you can have a small company that is local and making a simple assortment of things. I think that's what's really cool about Melanzana is they make only a handful of products and are very successful. I think the interesting thing, our company was born from making guidebooks first, and this like trying to connect people to a place. I think that's one thing that we saw from Melanzana is like, oh, it's really cool that they're making these things in Leadville and making cool hoodies. And, but one of the biggest like differentiators for us, for our brand was like, hey, we want to do that. And actually we want to connect those people to the place that we live in. And they're coming up here and they're asking about where to go hiking or things to do outside. And so in some ways, like we're kind of like a brand, obviously, that has shirts and that kind of thing, but we're also trying to provide that almost like outdoor visitor information kind of vibe, and trying to be really open and have those take the time to have those conversations with everybody that comes into our shop and answering questions, which is something that we feel probably more passionate about, honestly, than like just making cool shirts.
Yeah.
Is that like connecting people to the outdoors piece. But they're awesome. We own Melanzanas, and I've taken pictures of promo material for them.
Nice.
Dave is actually about 8 feet tall on the outside of their building, carrying skis up, wearing a Melanzana, from an old Melanzana promo thing. So we're definitely on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Leadville on Monday and I saw that picture on the outside of the wall, and so now I know it's Dave. So thanks.
That's awesome. Not that we haven't ever tried a Melanzana, but we just, I think what happened, what was it in 2020 when they made it very exclusive to like an invite or not invite, but like had to do the scheduling thing. That's when we were like, I guess because we live so close, we could totally do it. But we got busy and then, we just never scheduled to do it.
We've talked about it. Not if, but when we hike the CDT, we will stop in Leadville and grab and Melly on that trip, because apparently it's easier for through hikers to get an appointment or just be able to go in and just grab a piece.
Is what we heard.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's true.
Yeah,
no, I believe it.
I think it is. I think I think you can, if you're doing a trail, and Fritz, the owner, I think he did the CDT last summer, the summer before.
Nice.
So they're definitely supporters of the through hikers for sure.
That's what we heard. Yeah. So we were like, maybe we should just wait and do it. Like, even though we're locals, to the area, we'll just wait until we actually do a through hike and look dirty and gross and go in, because that just feels way more appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, hiking makes the food taste better. It makes the shopping more fun,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask a question, switch gears a little bit. I'm super excited about asking this question, actually. I'm glad it landed on mine.
Yeah.
I got into ultra running about 5 or 6 years ago. Changed my life, actually, in a really good way. And I've dreamt of doing the Leadville 100 forever. Just haven't yet done it. So I'm curious, are you guys connected with the Leadville races in any way?
We do have a connection with the race series. A couple of our friends have been the race directors for the race series.
Oh, nice.
And Lifetime, which owns the race series, is a huge, Lifetime Fitness is a huge organization. But they have been really great about hiring local folks. And I think local folks that are super thoughtful about the impact on the Leadville community, because it's a big deal, and it's almost every weekend of the summer. There's some kind of Lifetime Leadville race series type race. And so it's a big part of the community. And this year we're making a version of that bamboo sun hoodie specifically for the race series. So it's got their art on it and that kind of thing, which was a fun collaboration. And then I also do a bunch of photography for them and for their foundation. What's the name of the foundation?
The Leadville Legacy Foundation.
Yeah. They raise a lot of money and give the foundation raises money to give scholarships to local kids for college and for other things. So so I go out with the athletes. They do such a cool thing, which is, I don't know if you've heard about this. They start after everybody else has started. They're like
dream
chasers, they call them. Mm-hmm. And it's so cool. They start, the biker starts at the very end of the pack, and then for every person they pass, they raise a certain amount of money, which is super cool. And the really impressive one is the run. Rodrigo, a local, has he starts 2 hours after the first after the last runner starts, I think he always still ends up in the top 20, even starting 2 hours after everybody else.
Yeah. It's so amazing.
It's like the coolest thing.
It's so cool.
Really fun to go out and hang out with those guys and take pictures of those guys and be part of. I think that Legacy Foundation is really, really, really cool. So, and obviously, like the other like basic connection is, you know, having all of those people in town is obviously amazing for our business. And and really fun because, you know, we always have tons of friends that are doing the bike and the run. And for a while, our first shop was actually right near the starting line. And so folks would, like our friends that were doing the race, would come and hang out in the shop right before the gun went off. And it was just so fun to have them. Well, both our shops actually. And so it's fun to have people in the shop right at the beginning of the races and like see their kind of like nervous anticipation. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but that's such a cool energy to have around your shop.
I love that.
For almost the entire summer.
Yeah, it's
like,
awesome. Yeah.
Wow. And talk about local heroes too. These folks raising money.
I didn't know that about the Leadville race, which makes me want to do it. I mean, not that I didn't want to do it. It's on my bucket list, but like that makes me want to figure out, how do we volunteer? How do we like get plugged in? Because we live so close, you know.
Yeah.
It's something we've been talking about. Like, how do we invest more into that?
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
Like, who doesn't want to go and climb Hope Pass twice?
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like so much fun, right?
So much fun. When we did Hope Pass, we did it with backpacks because we like did a section of the trail, you know, for a few days.
It was a jerk.
It was like 6 days. So we had big backpacks doing it too. And I was like, dear God, in the Leadville 100, they do this twice. Awesome.
You got that base camp, no problem.
Right. No problem. If you can do it with a big backpack, you can do it with a little pack.
just look for those prayer flags at the top.
Yeah.
Just shoot for those.
Yeah. Wait, I have one more question.
Yeah,
go tag with that, just because I'm going to ask. Have you guys met Courteny Dauwalter since now she lives in Leadville? Not that I stalk her, but just curious.
Oh, we stalk her.
Okay.
Yeah. She's a fan favorite. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Justin's done some photo shoots with Courteny. And so that's really awesome. And then she's just, you know, been super supportive. She's come into the shop and chatted us up and asked about what our story and what we're doing. And so, yeah, I mean, just a great human, super humble, super unassuming, really smiley. Like everything you'd expect from her online presence, from what you hear. Courtney doesn't disappoint.
That is amazing. Awesome.
So okay, maybe I'll run into her then in your store, because y'all, I actually ran into her at the gas station in Leadville, because I've always said, if I run into Courteny Dauwalter, what would I do? And I do have to like work with celebrities or like big names from time to time in my world. And one of my biggest rules or code of conducts is I don't ever treat them different than I would a normal human being. And it's true. Like, I don't go, can I ask for your autograph or can I get a picture? Unless we're like, we've become good friends. And so I ran into her and her husband in a gas station in Leadville like a month ago.
The one at the south of town that sells like ammo.
And I was like, excuse me. Like in my head, I'm like, holy shit, it's Courteny Dauwalter. And then everything in me froze. And I was like, treat her like a human being. So all I said was, excuse me. And I walked out the door and I was like, Wesley, I just ran into Courteny Dauwalter and I did nothing. I'm a coward.
No. I mean, yeah, I go full fanboy mode too whenever I bump into Courteny Dauwalter.
Yeah, my brain just went into shock mode and went quiet. And then I was like, wait, what do I do?
It was like a warm up for your next exposure to Courteny.
So maybe I'll run into her in your store and then I'll actually be cool.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Or out on the trails. She only,
I know.
She puts in a few miles every week on the trail.
You're right. That's what, babe, we just need to like go out on the Leadville trails coming up. Like,
yeah, look for the blur and basketball shorts like running by you.
We're so slow. We're like, do.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my gosh.
That's good. It's good.
Well, I know we need to wrap things up. So we
Yeah.
got two more listed, but I want to ask a third question as well. One question here is, do you have any new products that you want to give a sneak peek, or rather like a sneak listen to? I know you've mentioned at least 3 new patterns for shirts, and you mentioned a stretch belt. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, that the new fabric, that stretch linen, we're super excited about that. And we're going to also do that low tide sun shirt, the pearl snapped hooded sun shirt. We're going to do that in that stretch linen fabric as well. And we think that will be awesome, an awesome layer. Yeah, we have that new stretch belt coming. We're going to work with the factory in Denver to get that up and running, hopefully as soon as possible, and hopefully we'll have those out this summer for folks. What else?
Oh, maybe if I say it out loud,
we'll do it.
We'll do it.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Accountability. Here it is. We're gonna put it out into the world.
The next guidebook, I think will be some sort of fun fly fishing guidebook that's like a fly fishing the Arkansas River / like photo book.
Ooh.
So it'll be like pictures of fly fishing in rivers and stuff like that. So definitely not like, neither of us are fly fisher people. But our friend Tim Hill, who is a local fly fishing guide, will be the brains behind it. But I think that would be really fun and another great example of like just learning a new thing and getting to go out and meet people and take fun pictures.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's
I love
exciting.
that.
I do want to ask quickly with your bamboo shirts, just because, again, we do have a lot of through hikers that listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
But they come in colors of gray and the teal green looking, or sea green. I'm not sure how you label it exactly.
I'm going to call it a pastel sage.
Sure. Okay, fine.
Perfect.
But you got them in those colors. Do you have any other new colors coming out of that one?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, we've got some new colors coming out this summer. We're going to do, like a new blue. It's a little bit of a deeper blue, darker blue. What else do we decide on?
Poppy.
A poppy. Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
red.
Another Leadville. The essence of Leadville, our star flower.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like a red orange, like a bright red orange.
nice.
So that one will be fun.
Okay.
It's
okay.
exciting.
I can't remember
Exciting.
if we're doing another one. I think that's it.
Yeah, totally. That's it. We tweaked the design just a little bit. Try to make the hood a little bit bigger to accommodate folks wearing helmets or whatever it is. So yeah, but otherwise it'll be the same shirt that you all have loved. So we're excited about keeping that going.
We're excited about that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll actually be using my beaten and tattered and sweat stained Sawatch I'm working for the Forest Service this summer, so I'll be using that until I can't anymore. So expect me this summer to come pick up a new one. And so that's like my favorite piece of gear that I own from Galena. But I'm really curious, and this is not a listed question, if you had to pick your 2 top favorite pieces of Galena equipment that you actually own, not that you sell, but that you own, what would those 2 pieces be?
Ooh.
You want to go first, JT? I'll go second.
Oh, okay.
I'll pick something different too.
I am definitely my go-to, just like what I wear to work every day, is the short sleeve collared shirt, pearl snap shirt, and I really like them because they are kind of stretchy, and so you can go for a hike, and like I mentioned, you could, if you're a super athlete, win a marathon in one, although I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, I just like it as every morning I pick one of my now too many. The name of it is the 595, our original version. Dave came up with the name. What's the story behind it?
Oh, the 595. I mean, I think all of our clothes, like JT's mentioned, is trying to be this fast casual or this day to night wear. Something you could wake up at 5 a.m., take the dog for a walk, go to work, and then go for a bike ride. After work, all wearing that sham shirt and be comfortable and be able to get away with it as workwear or as outdoor clothing.
That's awesome.
And we now have, we now have, or will have, 3 versions. The 595 is the original one, and then we have one that's called the Huron, which is a slightly different fit, a little bit more fitted, and is stretch hemp. And then our newest version will be our linen version, which will be called the interlocking linen. All of those are short sleeve snap shirts.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. That leaves one other person.
Yeah, I guess I'm wearing right now one of our merino wool sweaters that we make. It's kind of like a bird's eye pattern. And I wear this probably more than I should. My wife gets pretty sick of me putting it on in the morning. But yeah, I wear it like a few days a week, both for coming to the office, but also for ski tours. I wore it for our fall winter camping 10-day trip this winter. So yeah, it's kind of that do it all layer that I'm really excited about. So that, and then I have too many hats. I have a hat problem, and so. I see you pointing over Yeti legs. Yeah, similarly. But yeah, I have a major hat problem, and so yeah, I have all of our hats and all of our prototype hats, and it's starting to take over our house.
That's amazing.
Wait, do y'all have any 5-panel hats?
Oh yeah.
You do have those? Okay.
Yeah, I've got a few of those for sure. We sell them in the shop. We just came out with a new running hat that's kind of in that 5-panel style, and we tried to design it for our bald-headed friends. I think we get a lot of feedback that all of our hats have mesh in the back or holes or something like that. And so those people who the forehead's turning into a 5-head want some more sun coverage. So this is all pretty lightweight nylon running, hiking hat with a stretch band in the back. And so that's in that sort of 5-panel realm, and we're excited about that one.
Nice. Well, I guess as we're wrapping up, is there anything else that you'd like to add or say to our hiking community?
Or our hiking hopeful community, those trying to get out there.
I would just say come to Leadville and go for a hike and stop in the shop and chat with us. It's really fun. We have all the people that work in the shop are kind of just our friends, people who do things in the outdoors. That's really great to have those resources for people that are wanting to go find a cool trail to go for a hike on or a trail to go biking on or whatever. And they're all just super friendly. That's probably honestly the biggest piece of feedback that we get is how helpful and friendly the folks are that work in our shop. So we feel super lucky about that.
I'd echo the same thing. We want our shop to be a big tent where whether you're looking for a huge run or you want the flattest hike in Lake County, that you feel comfortable coming into the shop, talking to us, asking questions, doing whatever. You don't need to buy anything. Just come hang out. And we love talking about Leadville. We're pretty obsessed with this place. And yeah, so thank you all so much.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And I had a quick, sorry to interrupt this whole thing, but I don't know, we can cut this out if we want, but I know we discussed the trail magic thing, and because in Thru hiking, trail magic is a huge thing on trail, and bringing the Galena tent to the Timberlake trailhead, because the Thru hikers have to come straight through there, the CDT, CT. So we could definitely make an announcement on our podcast of when we're going to be there. Because we want to provide food and beer and just love on the Thru hikers. And we'd love to be able to support Galena in that and be if you're heading into Leadville, check out their sun shirts or check out any of the gear that they have that you may need in your backpack. But yeah,
we love that idea. We'd be psyched to set up. We look at the calendar and see when are going to be the busiest days when people are passing through the Timberline trailhead area and set up and have a cooler and I love that idea. I think that'd be super fun.
Awesome. Yeah, we're super stoked about it. We really want to do some trail magic this year, because when we were on the PCT, it was just life changing. Yeah. When people would just hand us a cold beer,
or even a cold soda
or a cold Coke. Yeah, it was great.
It never tastes so good. No. Yeah, we'd love to support that. That's a great idea.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely. So for those listening, then we will make an announcement on the date we're going to do it, and then we'll make social media posts. So any of our trail friends, you can share along the trail and see if you can get into that day or hike faster or hike slower.
Yep, and there's also a dehydrated food brand down in Durango that we've been collaborating with a little bit, and hopefully they'll be able to come out and participate in this event as well. So whenever we do get that date nailed down, we'll put that out on social media, and we'll put lots of photos and stuff, and hopefully we can give some love to those nasty, filthy, stanky through hikers in need.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, thanks guys so much for just taking the time to do this with us. We, like we said, love your brand, love what you have created, and to just get to have you on the podcast has been such a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you so much for taking the time and staying a few minutes later than we had scheduled.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of hard whenever you run a business, you have a full-time job and then a family at home too.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you. We really appreciate the support for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And thanks for
Yeah,
supporting
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Leadville and just the state that you love so much. And
And, well,
I-
to finish all this,
I think that's the dinner bell.
That's
isn't it?
Loba. There she
All right.
is.
As we like to say in the hiking community, happy trails. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed that interview with Galena Mountain Project. They are one of our favorite outdoor clothing brands, and we just love that they're local and that they're such cool, like down-to-earth people. So if you want to give them a little bit of support, go check out their website, use that 20% off code, which is WB20, and do everybody a favor and just try it out, you know?
Yeah, I really don't think you'll regret it at all.
No,
I
not at
haven't. So, but yeah, and also just want to give a shout out to the Fire Once Lost. Thank you so much for letting us use your song. It is perfect for our podcast. And also, if you want to check him out, he's got some new stuff out and it's pretty legit. So you should go listen to his music and support him.
Yeah.
And then also, if you'd like, oh, you guys, I just want to say thank you for emailing us. I get so excited every single time someone emails us. It's like getting snail mail to me. It's like, you've got mail. And so if you'd like to send us any comments, any questions, please email us at yetiwalksintobasecamp@gmail.com, or you can DM us on our socials.
Yeah.
Or follow our Yeti Walks into Basecamp Instagram, where we will always be dropping our social media stuff. We'll be dropping our information, dropping the podcast information, the next one, any questions we may have for the next person coming up. Yeah, we just love to hear from you guys. I genuinely get so excited when I hear from a listener. It just brings so much joy to my heart.
It does. It really does. We have recently heard back someone responded to our episode about trail pooping. And so we've got some more insight on bidet use. And by the time you hear this, we'll have already released an episode, but I'm just so excited in the moment that I just want to share that these people have just given us some good positive love and comments here. And we have another sweet guy who wants more of our PCT episodes to be released. So that's why you're going to hear this after several PCT episodes have been dropped already. And we are now going to do a TMB, so a Tour de Mont Blanc mini-series, because the same guy who wants more PCT episodes is actually going to be hiking the Tour de Mont Blanc later this year. So we'll have a couple of episodes out on that, our experience whenever we hiked it in 2023, and just a few insider scoops on what to expect and some little hacks for you.
Because really, when we did it, we didn't do the refugees. I don't know. We did our tent, and it was great.
Because the refuges were closed.
Yeah, because we did it in late October, and everybody thought we were crazy. But honestly, it was the most perfect time to do it because no one was there.
Yeah.
And so we've got a lot of really great tips with Tour de Mont Blanc that we really haven't ever shared with people. And it's truly a magical trail, and maybe one of the most perfect trails we ever hiked.
Yeah.
In the sense of like everything was perfect. But
yep.
But yeah, so we're going to come out with a mini series on that. Really excited to drop that one. I think that's going to be a good one.
Well, thank you all so much again. Subscribe on Spotify, on Apple, or Patreon.
Oh, that's right. We have a Patreon.
Yeah. We have a Patreon.
We have a Patreon and we have a subscriber one, which we are releasing. We've been busy, I know, but there is a new one that just dropped on there, all about being dog parents with Loba.
It's kind of like a vent session for us, but it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you all again. Have a great one. And I don't know, it sounds like the dog is in there. And you hear what she's saying? It sounds like she's saying, happy trails.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were. I thought she was talking.
She actually took her headphones off.
I took my headphones off to see what Loba was saying.
There's gullible written on the ceiling.
We already said happy trails.
Happy trails.